We both have always had a dream to do a West Coast road trip, and we finally made it happen. We are going on a road trip down the west coast of the United States. Been out for 2 weeks and now we're going out for another 6. If you saw our last video, then you know that we have our 2 cats with us on this road trip. Yes, they are going on all of our adventures all along the west coast, and we are packed up with them in our Camaro. We're just in here living in our car, eating snacks,
popcorn, lots of free food in the back. Range and Rover, shade, air conditioning.
When we're old, we're gonna look back at this video and be like, whoa. Our first stop was to make it to the top of Washington to see the sunset on the coast. So we took Range and Rover on a walk through the White Oaks and they loved it. And then we walked along the beach and watched the sunset. We slept in the car and in the morning we drove straight to Seattle. We're gonna go explore the city. We're going into the first ever Starbucks here in Seattle. Got our coffee, then explored. Saw Pike's Marketplace, Olympic Sculpture Park, the Space Needle, and found the Fremont Troll. We're about to catch a shoot of the Space Needle.
It's massive. Show me. Who is this?
He's scared bear.
He's scared. He's a scared bear, but not this one.
After a day of exploring, we said goodbye to the city and drove so that we could wake up in the morning and go straight to Olympic National Park. It was bright and early and so cold, but it was so nice to see the beach by itself and look at the dramatic trees, the fog rolling in, the mountains in the background, and just how peaceful the beaches are here compared to what it's like in Florida with the sun blasting and people crowding. It was also interesting to see that there's little pebbles everywhere instead of sand, so it's a lot more clean, but I don't know, do you like pebbles or sand more? We walked around the park and then we decided to get the drone out and found this little fort to sit in while we put it up in the sky. The views of the coast are absolutely spectacular here, and there's nothing that beats sitting in a little hut while you look at the views. We stayed along the coast of the national park to keep our road trip a little more simple, and since we didn't have Range and Rover, we couldn't go on the hikes in the mountains, of course. So we looked at all the beaches: Rialto Beach, Cadillac Beach, and Ruby Beach, and they were all so incredibly beautiful. After a long day of exploring the coast, we drove all the way to Portland right in time for the sunset. and since Range and Rover were so tired, and so are we decided to check into a hotel.
It's Range.
In the morning, we had views of Portland, and we decided that we were going to go explore the Japanese gardens. The gardens were so beautiful, so peaceful, and very modern architecture. It was really nice to walk around. So we got all dressed up, even though we've been sleeping in the car since we got a nice rest. We wanted to feel nice, clean, refreshed, and classy exploring the gardens, you know?
Cute.
After exploring the gardens, we were already checked out, so we decided to hit the Oregon coast. Our first stop on the coast was Cascades Head. It was an incredible hike through the mountains, and then you were surprised to walk right through the trees onto this incredible viewpoint right on the coast. Absolutely beautiful. There's nothing we've ever seen like this. After a while of enjoying the view, we hiked back into the trees, back to our car, and went down the coast to Thor's Well. It's a crazy conundrum that's on the beach where there's little sea caves carved out from the water hitting things so hard, and it just splashes crazy huge, has a very diverse ecosystem of marine life. And if you walk down further, there's even more crashing waves that have cut the coast down here. It's so loud and beautiful. The next day, we went more down the coast and we explored something called Oregon Dunes, where we have no videos doing it. And then we went to Lone Ranch Beach. We took Range and Rover out to see the beach and explore and roll around in the sand and enjoy their time. They loved walking around.
On the sand dunes and you got it on a video.
Enjoying looking at the wildlife and just looking at the beach. This beach has a Now we got some rest, and it's time for us to head to the next state. We are now going to California. We took one day to drive down the upper coast of California through the Redwood National Park. We stayed one night in Thatcher Inn in Hopland, and we made our way to San Francisco the next morning. We found the San Francisco Bridge, and we put up the drone, and we just had it capture views of how beautiful San Francisco is. After so many days of being on the road, first of all through Wyoming and Montana with its barrenness, and now on the upper coast with its dense forests and coastal mountains, and now we're just in a city, so it felt very interesting, the transition after so long of being in the car. Here is some new friends that we met, and now it's time to explore San Francisco. After a day of exploring all that San Francisco has to offer, we made our way to some family time. Nick actually has a cousin who lives in San Francisco, so he invited us to come spend some time together and then go explore the San Francisco Bay. And guess what? He has a boat. So in the early morning, we made our way to the water so that we could go sailing. It was my first time on the water, so guess what? I was allowed to sail.
Okay.
I just made a turn.
Yeah, there you go. You got it. What are you sailing?
Yeah. A second ago.
Oh no, I did fall out a lot, didn't I?
So that's why you say you want to go somewhere in the ocean. That's where you start looking at the chart. Say, where do I want to go? That means that the moon and the sun are on the same side of the earth at the same time. So their gravitational pull is doubled together. And tides are all the result of the gravitational pull of the sun and the moon. And when the two line up, that's why you get these very high tides. Anything that's bold is an unusual either high or low tide.
Oh, I see.
So we got lucky. Had a low this morning.
We got back to their house, picked up Range and Rover, and got ready to hit back on the road. We are going to Santa Cruz. It was actually so crazy that we made it here at nighttime instead of during the day, because this is exactly where a bunch of scary movies have been filmed. So we were wandering around here by ourselves in the dark with all those scary thoughts in our head. So that we could see the beach and take Range and Rover out on a walk, and they can enjoy the sand and the scenery. I really liked these colorful bushes that were all dried up on the coast. It actually made a really nice contrast compared to it just being sand on the beach. We wandered around the downtown area a bit, just getting a feel of what it's like for the people who live here. And it's so quaint, so cute, so quiet, and super West Coast. After exploring the city, we made our way to a cute place called Lovers Point Park. It was so cute being here, and I say cute because there's these little chipmunks that are just hiding on the rocks all over this entire park. We continued on the road trip and kept driving down the coast. The coast of California is absolutely spectacular. There's views around every corner. The mountains touching the water is so beautiful to see. I love that there's so many different coastal hikes that you can do. This one is Piper State Park. Absolutely stunning, the contrast that was happening while we were here. We also saw Bixby Bridge. This bridge starts the beginning of one of our favorite parts of driving through California, Big Sur. It's so amazing driving through this area specifically. It's quiet, it's all protected, there's incredible views and cliffs. It's just stunning to see. I definitely recommend driving through Big Sur. It is day 9 of being on the road on the West Coast, and we are in Santa Barbara now. We instantly fell in love with Santa Barbara. The community here is amazing. Everything's pristine. The mountains in the background is beautiful. It was just like a great place where you could see yourself growing up and having a family. We liked it, and Range and Rover liked it too. Now we are heading to Los Angeles. On the way there, we ran into a crazy place called Hidden Treasures in Topanga. It was super interesting, and it was right after we made our way through Malibu and saw the Malibu Pier and a few of the homes there. So we just stopped there and continued on our way to Los Angeles. Now we made it, and we're gonna go explore the city.
Show me what he did.
After driving through the city for a while, we decided it's due time for a hotel room again. We've only been doing hotels every 2 to 3 days and spending the rest of the time in the car, so this was a treat for us, and we decided to get a vintage one that's been renovated, and here's where we are. That night we went to explore and see Hollywood vibes at night. In the morning, we woke up early so that we could go see the Hollywood sign in all its glory. Next, we went to go explore Beverly Hills, see the famous palm trees along the streets, and even set up a photo shoot so that we could capture the Hollywood vibes. Now that that's done, it's time to explore where all the famous people go shopping. Now that we've seen what it's like in Hollywood, we made our way to Santa Monica. Saw the famous Muscle Beach, and then we made our way to the Santa Monica Pier. Now it's time for us to explore downtown Los Angeles.
What's that? That one looks like a heart. Or a knocked over pig.
After seeing all the major spots in Los Angeles, it's time for us to move on. We were waking up early in the morning so we could see Death Valley National Park. Coming to Death Valley is like going to a different freaking planet. It is so deserted, so dry, so deathly hot, so salty in the air. It literally feels dangerous to be out here, and it's kind of epic. We love it. You can see that the floor is literally all salt, not even sand, nothing, it's salt. We took the time to taste some of it, and it was disgusting, but epic. Naturally, we set ourselves up to do a few photo shoots, and they came out epic.
No.
The major places that we saw while we were at Death Valley National Park was the Mesquite Dunes, Badwater Basin Salt Flats, the Natural Bridge, and then we saw the most incredible colorful mountain. This is Artist Palette. It just naturally has these color tones, blue, red, purple. You couldn't see it even more in person, but it was so interesting to see how this just naturally happened.
It's hot. It's really hot.
We're out here literally
Baking.
dying in the desert.
This destination is called Badlands Loop. It's super beautiful. And then we went to Zabriskie Point. That was our last stop in California, and now we are actually going to make our way to Arizona and include it as part of our trip. It's Nick's mom's birthday, and we rented an Airbnb. We love renting Airbnbs so that we could have a home experience while we're away, and we got this cute one, and we'll be going to explore Grand Canyon National Park.
Happy birthday!
That's so cute. Oh, wow, that's amazing. I gotta take a picture with my phone.
The next day, we went to Arizona. Bear is our nickname, so we thought it would be perfect for us to go to be bears in Arizona and go look at all the wildlife that they have available in this zoo.
First spring.
And this round little box.
Seeing all the little animals was really cute and a great experience with Nick's mom. We continued out on our ride and we realized that we were driving on Route 66. We stopped in the Wild West Junction and looked at all the Route 66 souvenirs, and it was awesome.
How are you?
On our drive back to the Airbnb that night, Nick saw a chance to go off-roading, so we went ahead and we scared the crap out of his mom.
Oh, whoa, off-roading. Look at that. Oh.
And look at those mountains.
Wow, we're getting that off-road Arizona experience.
Yeah, we are. Wow. Let's go back. Oh. Oh God. Where are we? Completely off critter.
We're off critters.
Oh. Now it seems like we are. Let's turn around the back.
All right.
Oh. Look at him. Shotgun dad.
The next day we enjoyed our day together, and then we took the long drive out to Grand Canyon National Park. It was a few hours to get there, and when we arrived it was almost sunset, so we were going to get some incredible views. You end up parking and then loading onto a bus that takes you near where you can go to the lookout points. Looking out at the Grand Canyon, you really realize how incredibly small you are. These videos do it absolutely no justice. This place is massive and it's terrifying.
Oh, too scared. Can't do it because let's see what you're looking at. Chicken. Look at that chicken. Pussy.
We watched the entire sunset relaxing by different viewpoints around the rim, and it was just beautiful being there. Super romantic. The colors were amazing. The place is massive. Definitely a once-in-a-lifetime experience to be able to come to the Grand Canyon, and the perfect way to end our West Coast trip. That is a wrap. That's the end of our West Coast adventures. It was absolutely amazing driving the whole thing all the way across the US and all the way down Washington, Oregon, California, seeing all these coastal treasures. Make sure to subscribe to see more of our travels outside the US.